We are surrounded by competing paths: materialism, individualism, consumerism. Every direction promises a kind of liberation, but often leaves us more anxious and disoriented. The Arabic word for this immediate terrain is the dunya. It comes from a root meaning both what is near and what is low. It is the visible, urgent reality where pleasures and losses can be felt right now. But this material landscape is not inherently evil. Wealth feeds the hungry. Authority establishes justice. Marriage can become worship. The danger lies entirely in misplacement. The dunya becomes fatal when a temporary testing ground is treated as a permanent home, when the world moves from resting in our hands to possessing our hearts. To understand how this test operates, we have to look at the Hadith of Jibril, which describes a deliberate, divine inversion. The path upward toward paradise is intentionally surrounded by friction. It requires things the undisciplined self naturally dislikes: patience, modesty, and waking up early. Conversely, the downward path is surrounded by frictionless desires, offering pleasure without accountability and wealth without moral restraint. If declaring faith guaranteed immediate comfort, belief would require no sincerity. The friction forces what is hidden inside the human being into lived reality. Because our immediate senses are actively being tricked by an inverted world, attempting to navigate based on instinct alone guarantees a fall. We need an external map. That map is the revelation, and the shortest route through this maze is the Sunnah, the path walked by the Prophet Muhammad. The shortest route does not mean a life free of effort. It means the route containing the least misdirection. It bypasses the endless cycle of testing and failing human ideologies. The Quran acts as the objective map, while the Sunnah provides the physical embodiment of how to actually walk the terrain. Without a guide who has already been shown the unseen destination, we will waste our brief time continuously trying to reinvent the purpose of life. Navigating the dunya correctly requires a strict balance. The prophetic path passes directly between total worldly indulgence and invented monastic deprivation. The prophet fasted, but he also ate. He prayed in the night, but he also slept. He engaged fully in society and commerce, granting both the soul and the body their rightful dues. In this framework, wealth and poverty, success and loss, these are equally deployed as trials to see whether gratitude or patience governs your decisions. The Sunnah does not demand that humanity become angelic. It teaches human beings how to remain fully human, using the material world to plant a harvest for the hereafter. As time passes, the dunya becomes increasingly complex and morally confusing. To maintain orientation, the traveler needs an additional tool: the minor signs of the hour. These signs aren't meant for setting dates or fueling speculation. They serve as fixed anchors to verify your position when the surrounding environment becomes dark. The Prophet outlined specific environmental milestones: the sensation of time rapidly contracting, and a massive explosion of information paired with the spread of genuine moral ignorance. Seeing these milestones weakens the illusion that our current civilization is permanent. They prove that history is not traveling in a meaningless circle, but driving toward an appointed judgment. We see this verified in specific prophecies regarding total societal inversion. The prophet foretold a time when destitute, barefoot shepherds would suddenly acquire wealth and compete in constructing tall buildings. The visual skyline becomes proof of the texts. But there is a crucial correction to make here. When a man asked the prophet exactly when the hour would arrive, he redirected the focus entirely, asking instead, "What have you prepared for it?" The ego desires secret information. Revelation demands moral preparation. Watching the signs without actually preparing the soul is a useless exercise. The time we have in the dunya is extremely brief. The believer is instructed to live as a stranger or a traveler resting briefly in the shade of a tree before moving on. Yet the instruction is not to abandon the world. Even if the hour is imminent, the traveler is commanded to continue planting, building, benefiting creation, and fulfilling their lawful responsibilities. The Quran is the map. The Sunnah is the route. The signs are the anchors. Walk the path, but never mistake the road for the destination.